Hey everyone, Casual Console Gamer here. Blackjack Descent is a gambling horror game similar to Clover Pit, where you're trapped in a room and have to play blackjack in order to gain enough money to earn your freedom. It usually retails for $8 but is currently 40% off at the time of this review. It's only available on PC through Steam as well. I received a key from the developer for the purposes of this review, but as always, the thoughts and opinions in this video are my own. So, is Blackjack Descent worth playing? This review is going to answer that question. For graphics and technical performance, Blackjack Descent needs some serious work. The mouse movement is insanely high, requiring going into the settings at the very start of the game and lowering it as soon as possible. There's no real graphical settings apart from resolution, and the game runs well enough that you can set it to 1440p or 2160p with no problems. So for graphics, the game is fine even on a mid-range PC. It's the technicals of the game that really lets it down. Starting off, the game has some frustrating mechanics and glitches that's going to require you to either restart or Alt F4 to hard close it. For example, when you try to touch an item, sometimes the game will have a dialogue that you can't skip, and if you try to skip it, you accidentally click on that object again, restarting the same text box again. I got stuck on the description of a shot glass for a long time because I thought you needed to click to close it, and I just restarted the text box again. Then there's the gameplay itself. This is sort of like a roguelike, where you replay the same part over and over again, improving and unlocking new things, but the game treats it as if you're a new player every time you start. Each time you restart a run, it asks if you want to run through a tutorial that you have to wait before you can say no. When you play a game of blackjack, you need to wait for the clock to move, interest to be paid, and tokens to be delivered. That's about 20 seconds or more, depending on if the dealer, who's the big bad guy, repeats the same dialogue over again, or there's a jump scare that occurs that just takes your valuable time. Most of this game involves very short blackjack gameplay sections, followed by unskippable cutscenes of payouts and tokens. Then there's the gameplay mechanics themselves. You're playing blackjack, which I won't explain if you've played blackjack before, it's the same as the real game, but Blackjack Descent introduces strange cards that have effects on that game. The only problem is the game doesn't tell you what these cards do. There's a codex in the form of a computer terminal, but it's behind you and you don't have access to it while you're playing blackjack, so unless your memory's like really good, you're likely not going to have any idea what these cards do. Finally, there's the betting and the limits. Each time you play, you can only bet a certain amount of money. You need to gain an increasing amount of money to pay off your debt or you lose. But the problem is, the debt you need is way higher than what you can earn due to the debt limits imposed on you. For example, you need to gain $8,000 at one point, but you can only place bets up to $500, and you have 6 rounds to do that. See the problem? I'm not great at math, but 5 times 6 is 30. You can only earn $3,000 in that time frame. That's if you win every round and place the max bet every time. Oh, and if you paid all your money to the debt at the last round and have nothing to play with this round, you won't be able to play the minimum amount, which increases as well. That's where Alt F4 comes in, because there's no way to back out of the dealer table without shutting the game down manually. Alright, so how do you reach the debt limits if you just can't earn enough? Well, you can play 3 sections of the table at a time. 3 $500 bets would allow you to reach the debt of $8,000 as long as you win, which is where the game's difficulty comes into play. Blackjack favors the dealer pretty heavily. You tie the dealer, you lose. The dealer gets 21, you lose. The odds are always in their favor. That's how like Las Vegas makes their money. That doesn't sound fun, right? So this game lets you tie and keep the money. But it also limits how many cards the dealer can pull. They can only draw 1 card each round. The dealer often busts or have really low numbers. And if you play 3 hands each time, you can earn a lot of money provided you're smart about it. Then there are the lucky charms. You buy these using tokens, and honestly, I have no idea really what they did. The descriptions of these charms aren't great, and there's no explanation really of what they do and when they trigger. I had one that made the dealer lose once per night, which was easy to understand. Then there were other ones that had something to do with infected cards, which really didn't make any sense since there was no instructions with it, and the game didn't really tell me much about it. Alright, to keep this review short, I'm not really going to go into the pros and cons or anything of Blackjack Descent, apart from saying this one thing. There is a fun game here somewhere, buried deep under technical problems that can be solved eventually. But at this moment, and for the foreseeable future, I wouldn't recommend playing Blackjack Descent, even if it is on sale. I'm the Casual Console Gamer on YouTube, and I'll see you all in the next review.